Hey, this is Matt once again. What about the videos? Another paid request this time from Rapid Kirby 3K, and it's for the movie The Powerpuff Girls Movie. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, I've heard of these characters. I think around this time we had cable. It'd be one of those things I would kind of flip through and flip a little bit at Cartoon Network, and I would see like clips of the show or maybe a minute and then go by. Really, Cartoon Network, if I was ever interested in watching, would be stuff like Johnny Bravo, which I do remember quite liking Johnny Bravo, or maybe older cartoons. But other than that, is it? I like Robot Chicken, things of that nature. But it's one of those things where I knew of it, I knew of the show, but really wasn't that interested in it. And I think the show had been going on, but this serves as a prequel to show how they were created, how it got started. And while it's a well animated movie, it's a very short film. It's a little over an hour long. It does play off kind of an extended episode, although a little bit more budget for the animation and action. And it was fine. At the end of the day, it was fine. It just doesn't seem like it'd be my kind of show, but it wasn't bad. It takes place in Townsville. This professor sees all the crime going on, and he wants to make a perfect little kid. But because of this chemical he puts in, he makes 3 perfect girls with the ingredient sugar, spice, and everything nice. So the 3 girls he creates, he names Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. Blossom is the leader. I guess she's the ingredient, everything nice. Bubbles is very sweet. That's made sugar. I guess Buttercup is one made of spice. She's the one who's a bit of a tomboy. Ready for a fight. And throughout it, there's this Monty that's part of his lab. And let me say something. If a Monty goes ape shit, you kept check on it. That was one of the professor's many mistakes. But these girls, not only are they perfect little girls, but they have powers. They can fly. They can shoot lasers out of their eyes. They're super strong. Seems like they're indestructible. They even laser out windows for their room. And things seem to be going okay as they're taking to school, but they're shown what tag is. So they play tag, but they play tag with each other, which ends up destroying a good chunk of the damn city. And you can kind of understand why the city's pissed off at them. Yeah, they're just little girls, but it's like, they're only, by this point, probably a day or two old. I would say the professor is more at fault for taking them to school so goddamn early without teaching them anything about the world. So I would blame the professor. Professor, he's a fucking idiot. I'm like, shouldn't you be teaching them a bit about the world before you send them off to school? Would seem like you only did it a fucking day after they were created. But anyway, I blame the professor being a fucking moron. So of course the news calls them freaks and all sorts of stuff. And like I said, there's some nice animation bits. Really, the bit where they play tag, which goes on pretty long, goes on for like 5 minutes or so, and shows their attributes, where how fast they go, and there's times with the POV where they're going and they're doing these quick turns, or they're going on the side of a building, running so fast, or they're going on top of buildings, creating these little big old lines in the concrete, or all sorts of stuff. That's probably you argue the best scene in the movie, animation wise. So understandably the city and such are pissed off at them. They arrest the professor, So he can't pick up the girls at school, and the girls assume that he abandoned them. They walk off sad. They see that Monty from earlier that became smart because it's the same chemical. Mojo. Jojo Mojo is pretty much Mojo Jojo, whatever the fuck his name is. He's the main villain. At first, he tricks them, helps them out with these gang members with a trash can lid, throws it, lies and says, "We help me build this thing, and the city will love you. We'll make it better." They're naive. They do it, but ultimately, Mojo Jojo, the butthole, is able to get all the monkeys and chimpanzees and apes in the zoos, able to use the chemical on them, control them for a bit until they have a mind of their own, and they're all trying to take over the city. They're all trying to be a number one in the city. So the kids really did fuck up, and they go to an asteroid to try, and they try for a bit until the professor's in trouble. They go back, they fight all the bad guys. Jojo takes the chemical go bigger. They fight him, defeat him. The city's like, "Hey, you know what, how about you stick around, and if we need help, you can help us." Okay. And then that's kind of leads into the series. It's just kind of hard for a guy, maybe it's just me, it's hard for a guy who's, getting to be 40 years old to really get into a show about three little girls that are supposed to be, what, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, who have very, very high-pitched kid voices, of course, go around and punching and slamming and stuff, where your big bad is a big it's a fucking monkey. Oh, and the monkey's voiced by Roger Jackson, who's the voice of Ghostface in the Scream films. So that was interesting. And I know one of the three girls is Tara Strong, and I think she was in, what, My Little Pony? Which, I'd probably say I could watch this over that, because that shit I hate. I know there's a lot of guys that are into that. I think they're what called bronies. Teach their own, man. Teach their own. Not my cup of tea. Not for me. But hey, if you enjoy it and you're not hurting anyone, go for it. But like I say, it was hard to get mad at the movie because it's definitely peppy in terms of tone, energy, and animation. Like I say, the animation's fairly good looking. It wasn't too annoying or aggravating of a movie to watch. It went at a good enough pace. The action is pretty frequent, especially in the finale where they take on all the bad guys, and there's this bit where they have to keep saving this dog, and the dog's being so stupid. There's, "Oh, you stupid dog," they have to keep saving the same dog over and over again. So that was kind of funny. And for the type of characters they're playing, I think I think one is voiced by the same person who did Tommy in Rugrats. I think that's Buttercup. Just like, that person sounds like from Rugrats. Tommy Pickles, like the lead kid. I think that's him. I think, not him, but I think that's the person. And Tara Strong, I don't know if it's Bubbles or Blossom. I don't know which one she voices. But it's one of those films that's kind of hard to review because it's pretty matter-of-fact, straightforward. And this film didn't do well when it came out. Maybe while it was successful on Cartoon Network, maybe people didn't see the need for a movie, or maybe people went, okay, it's a prequel, so each episode, I think, pretty much tells you the gist of how they were created, so there's really no big surprises. Let's say they kind of tell you from what I remember in the show, how they were created anyway. So it's just an elongated piece of that, and then there's nothing I would say if you're a fan that you really find anything like, oh my god, I didn't know that. It's like no, it's they're created, tagged, people hate them, Monty, they get fucked over, hire an asteroid, come back, beat everybody up, the end. So that's really it kind of plays as an extended episode of the show, with a bit more polish, of course, because of the budget. But at the end of the day, it was fine. It was fine enough. It didn't bother me too much. Let me see. I know Rapid Kirby has something to say about it. Let me see if I could find... Because they wrote a bit of something in the message. Let me see if I can find it. I will admit, I'm kind of bummed that they didn't have any more... I mean, I guess you could say they've done Robot Chicken movies, but they're like the Star Wars parodies. It was like anthology, really just anthologies, kind of Star Wars skits that they did, to be fair. So it's not really a movie, just a special. It's kind of too bad you didn't like have a Johnny Bravo movie. I'm trying to think what other Cartoon Network movies they probably have done others. I just can't think of them. I did think it was cute, the opening title, where it was a bunch of cartoon characters in the movie theater. So you had like Scooby-Doo and Shaggy in the game, and you had Space Ghost Coast to Coast and his buddies in there. You had the Powerpuff Girls, of course. Johnny Bravo trying to hit on Fred and Barney from the Flintstones, trying to hit on their wives. I thought that was kind of funny. Let me see if I can find the message. Bear with me. Sorry about this, folks. Be just a minute. Let's see. And sorry about this. I know it's not the most exciting, but bear with me. See where it's at. Okay, here it is. Just bear with me on this. Came out the same day as Men in Black 2 and Like Mike. There's a certain cartoon series recall from 1998 to 2004 I recall watching quite back in the day, including the early two shorts during the What a Cartoon era on Cartoon Network. Warner Bros. Cartoon Network Studios movie based on the original cartoon. I'm pretty sure you're probably not exactly the demographic for this particular anime movie and the series is based on. I'm aware it didn't do well commercially and critically. Where Cartoon Network didn't make another theatrical until Teen Titans Go to the Movies many years after this film, sadly. However, after I watched Men in Black 2 with my mother and one of my cousins, me and my cousin watched this as well. Has a quick Dexter's Laboratory short about its title character trying to avoid scratching due to the chicken pox. It's a quick warning right before the main feature. Even though I had a decent time, and despite not having an actual Blu-ray version widescreen instead of only the DVD version built for full screen, I do agree with a couple of valid criticisms. One, the scene with the three girls playing high-speed tag within the city of Townsville does drag a bit and may feel a tad long. Yeah, like I said, it's definitely a lengthy bit to really showcase the destruction of the city. It does feel like a lengthy episode that's only set up for the big screen as an excuse. And three, yes, the Tower Girls have a darkest hour moment on an asteroid in outer space before the action-packed third act. One common complaint always bothered me. It's way too violent, even for a PG kids film. I'm puzzled. Have you not seen the original series on Cartoon Network before? Seriously? Though this type of criticism may have occurred post 9/11, so I could understand some ways, but still, anyway, wish you good luck. There's a wanted poster showing the Powerpuff Girls and Professor Utonium featured at some point in the movie that happened to be the winning entry for his art contest at the time. And I guess there's a Powerpuff Girls reboot. Tell the corkscrew himself. That dreaded version still owes me the utter frustration by wasting my brain's valuable time. Plus, I usually flip my lid over that stupidly cringy twerking episode. The original series may have a few weaker episodes here and there, but the reboot ramps all their own episodes up to 11. How they avoid the 2016 reboot. Didn't even know there was a reboot, but well, it is a reboot, so no wonder it sucks. Well, hey, I mean, that's happened to so many other cartoons as well. I mean, don't get me started on what they do in Ninja Turtles nowadays. I mean, look at the fucking 2018 bullshit. Which, yes, I call bullshit. So yeah, I can understand that complaint, the tad bit. Like I said, it goes on for like 5 minutes. It's a pretty lengthy bit, and you kind of get the gist of it. But I just, I'm enjoying the animation and the high energy of it, and again, the voice actings are they're they're not bad. So I guess it didn't bother me too much, but I can understand that criticism. And then what was the other thing? It being too violent, that's fucking stupid. It's an action show for kids. It's not too violent. Give me a break. There's no blood. There's no death. It's nothing like that. So yeah, the whole too violent shit. It probably is people being too... Because it's a city being destroyed. Buildings toppling or crumbling. And this again came out 2002, a year after 9/11. So people, were gun shy about that thing and then some. Which, I mean, I can understand to a bit, but no, it's not too fucking violent. Not at all. I think that's fucking stupid. In my opinion. As I say I mean, hell, there's plenty of episodes of the 2003 Ninja Turtles cartoon that are way more violent than this. So, I mean, they're punching bad guys and throwing stuff around like that, but it's silly, it's goofy, it's over the top. And yeah. That's for me. It wasn't boring. It was short enough to not outweigh its welcome and wear out its welcome. But I would say really just watch an episode of the show and it will gauge on if you love it or not. And then you go watch the film to see how it all started. So, like I said, there's not really any big surprises or like, oh wow, I learned this about the characters. Not really. So there's nothing deep about or anything. But like I said, it's fun enough entertainment for little kids. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.